One of the most important aspects of living a balanced life is finding balance in the masculine and the feminine. What does that really mean? So first of all, understanding that the masculine and the feminine flow within each and every one of us. They flow in different proportions based on how we are and how open we are to them, but they flow nonetheless. In our societies, the masculine seems to dominate as we continue to pursue the economy and logic-driven decisions, achieving and pursuing and grinding and hustling and all these very masculine ideas. But finding the balance between the masculine and the feminine is so important, because what is the feminine? The feminine is creativity, it's warmth, it's nurturing, it's inclusion, it's rest, it's relaxation, it's joyousness in this moment, it's acceptance. Whereas the masculine is very much forward thinking, moving forward, progression, logic. But if one only moves with the masculine, or if one only moves with the feminine, it's very difficult to find balance. You can, but it's very difficult. Because if you're just very masculine, you'll find that it's almost like you live a very rigid life. Whereas if you're almost too feminine, you'll find that your life almost has no direction. It's just very wishy-washy. The feminine adds depth, where the masculine adds structure. So if we can begin to find a balance within ourselves individually between the structure of our lives and pursuing our goals with the depth of emotion and peace and ease and inclusion and nurturing and creativity, if we can find that balance between the creative and the forward movement, we can begin to find that we will start living a balanced life. And the reason I'm even saying this is because it feels that one of the things that we suppress so deeply in society is the feminine. It's all about the masculine. It's all about logic. But there's another side to life. There's another aspect of life that does not fit within logic, that adds depth, that adds flavor, that adds color, that adds beauty of experience. Instead of the simple rigidness or the complex rigidness of the masculine alone, the feminine adds the depth that makes many of us even want to be here in the first place. And so if you find that you struggle with finding your balance in life, consider that you need to bring some balance back to the masculine and the feminine, which are two fundamental forces in this creation that are within all of us in different proportions. For me, I like a balance, because there's a beauty in both. And if you find that you'd like to bring some balance, you can try this, which I mentioned before. One really easy way to bring balance back to the feminine and to allow it to find expression within yourself is creativity. If you can learn to be spontaneously creative throughout your day, and if you can give your day a structure by going to bed at a certain time, waking up at a certain time, meditating in the morning, following a certain diet or exercise regime, and having periods for work and periods for whatever, but then finding within that the ability to express yourself creatively, to express yourself with freedom. If you can find that balance, then you'll begin to find the balance between the masculine and the feminine. Instead of being rigid and just focused on the goal, you can learn to bring that creativity, that color, that flavor, that joy that comes with the feminine, that warmth of existence. And I think you'll notice, like, a lot of young men probably understand that feeling of kind of living a very rigid lifestyle and a flavorless lifestyle, very much focused on money, achievements, social status. And you might find that many women or many feminine men live lives that don't have much direction. They kind of sit and float and just kind of bobble along, but there's no direction. But then on the man's side, on the masculine side, there's no depth. There's only direction. And of course, remembering that the masculine and the feminine can be in both. So you can have a woman who's completely masculine and very rigid and very achieving, logic. And you could have a man who's very feminine, very warm, very emotional, and very floaty, let's say. Finding the balance of both, having direction with the depth, is, in my eyes, the key to a successful and beautiful life.